Welcome to This Explainer. I am so glad you're joining me today because we are tackling a topic that practically everyone absolutely loves, yet we all kind of feel a little conflicted about it, right? Yep, we're talking about cheese. For the longest time, cheese has gotten a completely bad rap in the mainstream diet world. It's always labeled as this guilty pleasure, a total diet wrecker, or something you should literally only ever touch on special occasions. But I'm here to tell you that this conventional wisdom, it might be completely missing the mark. When we actually sit down and look at the hard nutritional data, cheese might just be one of the most incredibly underrated foods sitting on your plate right now.
Which naturally brings us to the million-dollar question. Is cheese actually good for you? Or are we all just desperately trying to justify our intense love for a good slice of cheddar? Well, the short answer is yes, it absolutely is good for you, but there is a very specific, incredibly important caveat attached to that. Okay, let's dive into this and explore the real nutritional science behind our favorite dairy product, stripping away all that online noise to find the absolute facts.
Section 1. A nutrient powerhouse. The magic of a 30 to 40 gram serving. Now, before we get into all the amazing benefits, we really have to establish what a healthy serving actually looks like in the real world. Mainstream nutrition guidance tells us that the real magic happens at right around 30 to 40 grams. If you're wondering what that actually looks like when you're standing in your kitchen, just imagine a standard little matchbox. That's it. It sounds tiny, I know, but this little serving packs a really dense nutritional punch. First off, calcium. And hey, this isn't just a nutrient for growing kids. As adults, we constantly need calcium to maintain our bone strength and density as we age. Then, we've got high-quality protein. Your body easily absorbs and uses this for cellular repair and keeping your muscles strong. And finally, vitamin B12. This one is absolutely critical for healthy nerve function, making sure your nervous system is firing optimally day in and day out. All of that essential, life-supporting nutrition is packed into just one little matchbox-sized piece. It's pretty amazing. Moving on to Section 2, Gut and Heart Health, Beyond the Basics. So, now that we've covered the fundamental vitamins and minerals, let's look at the deeper, systemic benefits of specific types of cheese. Because, as the science reveals, not all cheeses operate the exact same way once they're inside your body. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that fermented and aged cheeses, specifically varieties like your sharp Goudas or aged cheddars, they hold this remarkable hidden secret. You see, the aging process fundamentally transforms the cheese. It isn't just sitting in a cave getting older. It's undergoing this complex chemical and biological change that creates a completely unique nutritional profile. And that secret advantage? It lies in probiotics. You've probably heard this buzzword a million times, usually heavily associated with foods like yogurt or kombucha, right? Well, fermented and aged cheeses are absolutely packed with them too. Probiotics are those beneficial bacteria that directly support a healthy gut microbiome. When you eat a sensible portion of, say, aged Gouda, you're actively introducing these beneficial bacteria right into your digestive tract. You are essentially fortifying your body's complex internal ecosystem. And these benefits, they extend right to our cardiovascular system. Honestly, this is where the data gets truly fascinating. Despite decades of fear-mongering around dairy, studies actually showed that moderate cheese intake is linked to no increased cardiovascular risk. None. In fact, in certain contexts, it's actually linked to a reduced cardiovascular risk. Crazy, right? How does that even work? Well, the data shows that when moderate cheese intake replaces less healthy, highly processed fats in a person's diet, the heart actually benefits. It completely flips the old, outdated narrative right on its head. Let's look at Section 3. The portion reality check, when more isn't better. Okay, I want to shift our tone to something slightly more clinical for just a second. If you spend any time online, you've probably seen some viral trends or pretty misleading posts suggesting that because cheese is healthy, eating massive, epic amounts of it every single day is a great idea. We need to directly address this viral misinformation right now. There's a massive, incredibly dangerous chasm between a healthy, matchbox-sized portion and a total dietary disaster like eating 250 grams, which, by the way, is nearly an entire standard block of cheese. And this brilliantly illustrates the problem. Some videos out there are presenting that full 250-gram block as a broadly healthy daily goal, but presenting 250 grams a day as healthy is simply spreading harmful nutrition misinformation. To really understand why this is such a disaster for your body, just consider the math. Eating a 250-gram block of cheese in a single day packs well over 900 calories into your system. 900! That is an enormous, overwhelming caloric load from just one single food item. And honestly, this is exactly where the trap lies for so many of us, right? It is just so incredibly easy to mindlessly slice away at a delicious block of cheddar while watching TV, completely oblivious to the tremendous amount of energy you're consuming all at once. Let's walk through this data methodically so you can see exactly what happens inside the body when you consume that 250-gram block. First up, the calories are over 900. Like we said, a massive caloric load. Next, look at the fat. 60 to 80 grams, and much of it is saturated. That is nearly an entire day's allowance of saturated fat, totally maxed out in one sitting. Finally, we have sodium. Depending on the exact type of cheese you're eating, a block this size will very often push you completely past your daily recommended limit for sodium. Looking at this data, it clearly shows why overeating entirely erases all those amazing health benefits we were just talking about.
Section 4. The sweet spot. Smart serving sizes.
Okay, let's bring the energy back to an empowering place. Because the ultimate takeaway of this explainer is absolutely not to scare you away from cheese. Not at all. It's to empower you to actually enjoy it properly. Moderation is precisely what makes cheese a genuine health food rather than a habit to overdo. So the crucial point is our golden rule. Cheese is great in moderation, and 30 to 40 grams a day is the absolute sweet spot. By keeping to this matchbox-sized sweet spot, you get the calcium, you get the high-quality protein, the B12, those amazing gut-friendly probiotics, and the heart support. Your bones, your gut, and your heart will genuinely thank you for it.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a direct question to think about for your own kitchen habits. Knowing what we now know about the incredible nutrient density, the probiotics, and the undeniable hard math of portion sizes, will you stick to the matchbox, or are you still tempted by the block? Think about how you can incorporate this smart serving size into your daily routine to get all the amazing benefits without any of the drawbacks. Thank you so much for joining.